How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So got some stuff back from CGC. This will all be on my website at collectorscomics.com. And I figured I'd go through it. Got a lot of like 9.8's in here I decided to put in here. A lot of giant size. So if you like the giant size series, got a ton of, not X-Men #1, but got a ton of 9.8's, 9.6's, 9.4's, stuff like that for the giant size series, which was from 1975 and maybe went to 1976, somewhere around there. So figured I'd go through some stuff. I'm going to try to be at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, at the end of this month. I don't know what day I'm going to go because I haven't gotten my tickets. So I'm probably just going to buy something online. I have a few people that I have connections with, so I might see if I can buy it from them. So we'll see. But yeah, trying to get to go. A lot of big stuff happening behind the scenes that I can't talk about, but I will be able to talk about after Comic-Con. A ton of big stuff happening, so be on the lookout for that. You heard it here first. Yeah, the whole industry is going to change. Yeah. So, yeah, but also our featured auction is happening right now, or not happening. We're taking consignments, I think, for another 2 weeks, I believe. And so hurry up, get in your consignments. Just go to collectorscomics.com, fill out the little form. We're only 5%, and we do everything, literally everything. You just have to send it to us. And anything over like 10 grand that hammers at 10 grand, it's capped. So the most you'll ever pay is it'll cap at 5%, which 5% of 10 grand is $500. So if you send us a book and it's like 15, 20, 30 grand, you only pay $500. Literally can't find that deal anywhere else. So yeah, we already got some big books in, like a Hulk 1, Fantasy 15, stuff like that coming in auction. So yeah, let's go through some of this stuff. Let me see what year this is. 1979. So yeah, this is right about when they're doing newsstand. So there is a direct version of this, and it just has a line through it. I can't remember when this little UPC code started coming out on comics. I want to say it was like 75, 76 or something like that. So they did it for a little bit, and then they started doing the direct edition as well, which will go straight to comic shops. Let's see, Spider-Man 194, first appearance Black Cat, thought it'd be 92, $4.99. First Hobgoblin. Now this is the rarest of the rares. You will never see another one like this. Nope. And I actually have two, so there's only two. I have an A5 and a 9.4 like this. This is the rarest version of Spider-Man 238, first appearance of Hobgoblin. This is the Ederkopen number 66 variant edition. According to old CGC right here, yes, that's what it says. I don't know what that means. I have it on two of my Spider-Man 239s. Ederkopen seems to be like a foreign, and so the good quality people at CGC, you would think that this would just be automatic, right? Someone gets a Spider-Man 238 and then they pass them along. It's 238, it's a 9.4. The person typing in just types in 238 9.4 and it auto-populates everything, right? You would think. But no. They don't know what they're doing over there. They don't have it like that. Trust me, I talked to my dad over at CPCS. Same thing. They manually type so much stuff in, and when they don't have to, I don't know. That's what happens. Like when a company gets like too much money and they're too rich and this, all that kind of stuff, they never go back and like fix their systems. It's kind of like, if it's not broken, why fix it? And as time goes on, that just happens. Like look at Comic Link. Their site is so confusing and so many buttons to get through and so many like hoops to jump through. It's just like ridiculous. Comic Link is like the worst. Heritage is pretty bad. They fixed it. Comic Connect was pretty bad. They fixed it. But still, like so much, like you would think you would just go through every like year or so and kind of like revamp things. But Comic Link hasn't revamped anything in forever, like ever. I think it's been the exact same site for the last like 20 years. So bad, so bad. But they don't care because they're like, we're making money, which is perfect for me because then I'll come in and I'll start taking their customers, and before they know it, what will end up happening is Josh or Comic Link will. I don't know if he has any kids or anything like that, or if they're even interested in doing the business. But eventually, they'll start losing customers over time, and so their first natural instinct will be to raise prices, which Comic Connect, not Comic Link, Comic Connect has done. They now implement a 15% buyer's premium. So now you're losing 25% when you sell to Comic Connect. So instead of like trying to figure out how to get more business, they're like, well, why don't we just milk the customers we currently have? And, that's what even McDonald's came out with a thing saying that that's what they're doing. That's why prices at McDonald's are going sky high. And places like, I read an article, or didn't read an article, saw a video of Arizona iced tea, still 99 cents for their can of iced tea, Arizona iced tea. And the CEO is like, we're making money. We don't have any debt. Why would we need to raise the prices? So they're already profitable. So they're not price gouging people like all these other fast food places. And let me tell you something. Panda Express, not price gouging either. I live in California. So they raised the minimum wage from, what was it, 15 or 16 bucks an hour to $20 an hour in April. The price of Panda Express from before, because there's one right next to my house, and I love it. And right before the raise and after the raise, same price. Same price. I might have went up like 5 cents on a few things, 5 or 10 cents, but basically the same price. It is still, even after the massive, everything's been going up every place, even before the wage hike, all that stuff, it went from like, where I live, went from like $9.80 to $10.20 pre-COVID. So back in 2020, it was like $9.80 or $9.60 or something like that for a 2-item plate. It is now like $10.20 or $10.30. That's it. That's as high as it's gone in 4 years. And that's just normal inflation. That's, what, 2% a year. So yeah, companies don't have to. I don't know where I was going this. Oh, talking about Comic Connect, Comic Link. So they don't have to, but they're losing business. And instead of figuring out a way to innovate, they just rather milk. So Comic Link is going to go the same way as Comic Connect went, and Heritage raised their prices. Not recently, but within recent. eBay's going to raise their prices. Everyone's going to raise their prices, but we're still 5%. So for this super rare, one of a kind, or two of a kind, in a 9.4, this weird variant, $4.19. Really, it's no premium on it because it's literally a mistake. So if someone wants a cool mistake, here we go. First appearance of Samus, Metroid, one of my favorite Nintendo characters. $5.49. Here we go. I just like this cover. I thought it was cool. There we go. Crisis Infinite Earth 7. $119. I've been seeing a lot of the behind the scenes of Superman, the new Superman movie that's being filmed right now, and looking at all the different characters. They have Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, which I like Nathan Fillion. I feel like he's just too old to play Guy Gardner. I don't know. We'll see. Number 8, $89. Here we go. This is a Whitman variant. So if you're not familiar with Whitman variant, neither am I. But I believe Whitman is like something like, has to do with like educational something, whatever. And I guess they picked a few random comic books and made them. And they're very rare, very hard to come by. $5.99. Got some giant size, all 9.8's. Giant size Daredevil Daredevil number 1. Highest grade, $10.99. And all these I thought would come back anywhere from like 9.6's to 9.8's. Invaders number 1, $7.49. Spider-Man number 6, $14.99. Supervillain Team Up, number 1, $4.99. And then this one actually has a very low population, meaning like there's not that many in 9.8. This is one of 7 at a 9.8. Triple action, Marvel triple action, $17.99. So pretty rare compared to all the other ones. We got here first appearance of Gru and first appearance of Destroyer Duck. Not even sure how long that character lasted, but I think it's a Jack Kirby. Yeah, Jack Kirby. Gru, the Wanderer. They were thinking about making a movie, so this book kind of popped off, so I bought a bunch of them, and then it all dropped because it never materialized in anything. Very, very common. 9.8's, $4.79. First appearance of, first Valiant brand emblem. So that little Valiant emblem, first time. And first Valiant black and red Octagon logo. Oh, okay. So first Valiant word and first little logo. Wow, that's interesting. I did not know that. So Valiant Comics actually started out with Nintendo. They got the license for Nintendo to do Nintendo. So what happened was Valiant was started by, I don't remember who, but anyways, it was started by some ex-publisher, probably worked for Marvel or something like that. And then they got like some investments. And then they're like, oh, we're going to bring it into the comic scene. And they're like, who should we start with first? And they were going to start with, get some like heavy hitter, like artists and writers. But they're like, oh, this Nintendo craze is getting pretty popular. We should jump on that while we can. So they jumped on the Nintendo craze. So actually the Mario and Zelda and that kind of stuff were the first books that Valiant actually produced. People know them for what, like Exo Man of War, and I think they had Turok. I like Turok. And stuff like that. Anyway, so they jumped on that train, but they didn't sell that well. And so I think Nintendo like pulled the plug because I think it wasn't really working out for them and both sides. So then they went back to the traditional like superheroes and that kind of stuff. But anyways, so that's Valiant started out with that. Then Valiant got bought in like the later 90s by Acclaim, I believe. Acclaim is they make video games and Nintendo games and that kind of stuff, video game type stuff, and computer games. And then Acclaim got bought by someone else, and then they sold this Valiant to someone else, and then they tried to make a comeback, I think around the late 2000 teens, the 2020s. I don't know what happened to him since then, but yeah. So that's kind of a brief history. $9.49. And then you got Fabio on the back right here. Fabio. I literally just watched a podcast with Fabio in it. What year is this? 1988. I wonder if he even remembers doing this. Like that was my first instinct when I was watching the podcast, because I see this all the time. I was like, I wonder if this is for a video game. He has like this big belt buckle thing. He's like a barbarian knight type person. It was for Iron Sword by Acclaim. And I remember Wizards and Warriors because my best friend had that, and I go over that. I never played Iron Sword. Not sure what that is. But yeah, I wonder if he remembers taking a picture for this. So Mega Man number 1, the hollow foil variant in a 9.8, $3.19. And then we got Mega Man Fully Charged. This came out in 2020. So I was like, oh, awesome. 1 per store variant when I bought this. And I was like, okay, this is going to be pretty rare. 1 per store. It's not that rare. And also, it's supply and demand. It's not in that much demand. So you'd think if you're only allowed 1 per store, and how many stores actually ordered this book, don't know. But not high demand. $99. $100 basically. That is it. Go over to our website, collectorscomics.com. If you see anything, we have way more than this. This is some stuff I want to showcase and talk about. And have a good day.